Have you ever had that moment where you got exactly what you wanted, exactly what you were looking for, but you still were not satisfied? That ache, that longing, that hunger was still there. It just felt like, yeah, I've gotten this. What next? A lot of us are trying to quiet something deep inside of us by looking for temporary fixes. You want to keep on shopping, distracting yourself with social media, trying to double your hustle so you earn more income, you get more money, look for fame, attention, success. You're just looking for something. With all of those things, that ache is still there, that hunger is still there. You're still not satisfied. Deep inside of your soul is that longing, that desire for something eternal, and it will never be satisfied except you go back to the one who created you, and that is God. Hello there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tolu Akinyemi. It's an honor to share the same space with you. Today, we're going to be talking about the longing of the soul. That constant thing on the inside of you looking for satisfaction. If you are new to this channel, here I share thoughts that can help women rise above limiting beliefs, get comfortable with their emotions, have healthier conversations with themselves, and behold that God has called them to be, and that is to be whole in every area of your life. So let's go ahead. Have you had that experience where you just got what you wanted? You were looking for a particular thing, you had it. You were chasing a promotion, you had it, but it just looks like that satisfaction was just for, few days, few minutes sometimes, and that longing is still there. It's almost like there's something deep inside of you. We're going to look into the story of 4 different people who were in different seasons of their lives, had different needs, trying to satisfy it. So let's start. First, I'll start with the Samaritan woman who was by the well. And the account must be in John 4, if you read from 4 to 26. That woman was by the well. She wanted to get some water, and Jesus was there. He struck a conversation with her about, oh, was she giving water? She's like, oh, you don't have any jar to get water. Just read that story so you get a hang of what I'm talking about. So, she just struck that conversation with her. And the process of having that conversation, she said, oh, she's had 5 husbands. And Jesus said, yes, that's true. And the one that you're living with is not your husband. It makes me wonder what made this woman jump from one man, first, second, third, and she kept going. It's almost like, except it's death, except the reason is death, it's almost like there's something inside trying to satisfy. You go from this one to the next one, there's still something, that dissatisfaction is there. There's still something you keep on looking for, something you're looking for. That thing is something eternal, something deep down on the inside of you that externals would not fix. Say, for instance, the need for love. If she found love in the first marriage, will she go for the next? The need for love, the need for approval, the need for belonging. You want to belong somewhere. It could probably be something connected to shame. You just want to belong somewhere where it looks like the societal pressure is taking off you. That shame, that label is taking off you. So there was just that thing on the inside of her that she needed, that she wanted. And then Jesus said, oh yeah, that's true. He told her, the person you're living with is also not your husband. And it felt like for the first time, somebody saw her. A lot of us have that desire. You just want someone to see me, just see me for who I am. There are lots of wives who are clamoring, I'm trying to talk to my husband, he's not listening to me, he doesn't see me, he doesn't hear me. And for the first time, or probably for the first time in the life of that woman, somebody saw her. Jesus saw her. And you know what she did next? She left her jar and she took off. She came to that well with that jar to get water to satisfy her. Yeah? And she met with Jesus. He saw her. She dropped that jar, that container she came with, met with Jesus, dropped the jar, and ran with purpose, went to meet the people. come and see, come and see, come and see. The prophet I saw, come and see. You know, she had that jar. What does that jar symbolize in your life? That thing you're going around looking for external. She came with that jar to fetch water. Jesus said, if I give you the water, if I give you, but if he gives her his own, she would never thirst again. That thirst would always, even if she got that water that day, not from Jesus, from that well, she will still have to come back. You will still have to keep coming back. That shows the externals can never satisfy the longing of your soul. It doesn't matter what you're pursuing. It doesn't matter what you think you need that you're pursuing. That longing will never be satisfied. So she left that jar. What's that jar that you're going around with? The need to be loved, the need to feel enough, because on the inside it feels I'm not enough. Nobody sees me. Nobody wants me. I want to belong. I want to be able to identify, all those needs on the inside. That voice or whatever it is that keeps making you feel inadequate, it will never be satisfied, no matter how much. Have you ever been in a setting where you feel like no matter how much you try to penetrate the circle, it's just like you can't get through? You want to force friendships, you want to force relationships so you can satisfy a need on the inside. At least I belong. There was this story of a lady, I think I saw it in a movie. She had these two friends and they would treat her so badly. They would make fun of her, comment about her. She saw the signs, but she didn't have friends. She just wanted to be with these people and she stuck with them for too long until someone opened her eyes and said, try something like this. So she had a conversation when she stood up from where the friends were and they were talking about her. It was bad. That was when she saw how those people perceived her. But because she had a need for that relationship, that connection with other people, not being satisfied with being alone, but all by herself, she wanted that. She forced that relationship. She heard how they really perceived her. Then she knew this cannot be right. What is that jar? What's that need that you have on the inside of you? If you come to Jesus, you can drop that jar and find the fulfillment that you need. He finally saw her. That is the first story. That's the first story. We look at the story of another ruler. The ruler is in Matthew 9 from verse 16 to 22. The man was wealthy, he had status, he was a religious person, and he came to Jesus with another question. He said, what must I do to gain eternal life? You see, this man had everything else, but he was still looking for something. Don't forget, I said earlier, that longing on the inside of you is for something eternal. He came to ask, what can I do to have eternal life? And Jesus was like, he now said, is there a good work I must do? Because he felt it was just by performance, by doing more. What must I do? What must I do? Because he wanted that assurance on the inside, eternal security. He wanted security. That's the need there. As a woman, everybody has a need for security. Trust me, until the roof over your head is being threatened, then you realize that, wow, it's a deep need. It's a deep need for security. It's a deep need on the inside of us as women. So he was saying, what must I do? Then Jesus said, go and follow the commandments. Obey the commandments. And he said, I follow it to letter. Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not steal. He followed everything because he was a religious person. He followed all of those things. Then Jesus said, okay, take all your possessions, sell them, give the money to the poor, and come back to follow me. That statement revealed the true state of that man's heart. He had all the wealth. He had everything that he needed, or that he, in quote, needed. He had everything. And Jesus said, take all those things away, give them out, then come back to follow me. What was Jesus saying there? Those ephemeral things, the money, all the wealth, status, fame, everything that you think you have, give them up. Let me ask you this question. What you hold on to, hold so there, if it is stripped off you, what will be left? Would you still feel adequate if your title is taken off you? If you lose your job, for instance, would you still feel complete? If something happens, titles are stripped off, positions are taken away, would you still feel adequate? Would you still feel enough? So Jesus said, take all those things, sell them and come back to me. Give everything you own to the poor. We can see from Jesus that he's saying all these things can never satisfy you. Come to me, follow me, come to me, follow me. And it shows the heart of that man. He needed eternal security, he needed approval. Approval because he said, I follow all those things to letter. Maybe for the first time, nobody has said, well done. You are really doing well with these commandments. You are really obeying everything. They said, don't cheat. You are not cheating. That's very good of you. He needed approval. Probably Jesus would have said, oh, really? You're already following all the commandments. That's good. Don't worry. Your eternity is secured. You know, he needed that approval. He needed eternal security. He needed identity. Those are deep needs of women. That need was there. So if you like, double your hustle. The hunger in your soul will never be satisfied if you are looking to satisfy it through things on the outside. Let's look at the third person, the prodigal son. His story can be found in Luke chapter 15, 11 to 32. Now, this boy was in his father's house, lived with his father, his brother, lots of servants. So his father was wealthy with all the things that he had access to. My boy was still craving for independence, craving for fulfillment. He wanted to live his best life. So he was there, going to the father. I want my possessions. I want this. I want my inheritance. And guess what? He got what he wanted. Traveled away to a faraway land, was spending, was living the life. It was just, that independence. Just feel like, yeah, I'm my own man. I'm this, I'm that. I can stand on my own. I can make decisions on my own. I can do this, I can do that. Spent all the money, did everything with friends, lived a riotous life. And at the end of the day, my guy went broke. Very broke. He wanted to eat what the pigs were eating, but nobody gave him that to eat. He hit rock bottom. Yeah, this was what he did to himself. And it started from that need for independence, fulfillment. He had the idea of what he wanted. He went for it in the way he thought best. He could search for it. And then he had that need. He went ahead, spent everything until he thought to himself, even my father's servants, they don't live like this. They have more than enough to eat. So he decided to go back to his father, prepared a very sober speech. Oh, my father, please forgive me. I'm not worthy to be called your son. He prepared all of that. But guess what? The guy was coming. Father saw him from afar off and he ran towards him, embraced him. No condemnation, no scolding, just back in the warm embrace. It was just restoration, change of raiment. He embraced him, restoration. That was it. That was it. The woman by the well, what did she meet with? No condemnation. He saw her and he embraced her. This guy came back, prodigal son, no condemnation. It was just back in the warm embrace and restoration. What more could you look for? He has seen both sides of life. He has seen both sides of life. What more could he want? That's the third story. Now let's look at the story of King Solomon. Solomon had wealth. He was wealthy. He had wisdom. He was wealthy. He had wisdom, God given wisdom. He had everything. Fame, he had it. He had all that he needed. There was a verse, I think it's Ecclesiastes 2 from 10 to 11. He said he has never denied himself anything. As long as his eyes desired it, he gave himself. No pleasure was denied. He gave himself access to everything, enjoyed everything. Then in verse 11, he said he thought about everything he had done, and it was like chasing the wind. Sometimes when a rich person says, oh, money does not satisfy you, people who are broke or people who are, working towards making more money say, no, it's only wealthy people that can say that after he has made all the money, after he has done this, done that. I'm tempted to do the same with King Solomon. But imagine, he said it was like chasing the wind. There was nothing he desired that he denied himself of. He had all the women, all the achievements. His fame spread far and wide. Imagine the union he came out from. David and Bathsheba, he became the king. God gave him peace on every side. He built the temple. He built a magnificent palace for himself. He had everything. People came, he judged with accuracy, with precision. This guy was living the dream. But he said he looked at everything and it was like chasing the wind. Can you see the wind? You can feel it. If you are chasing the wind, you're just going in any direction. You're just going in any direction. He later said in Ecclesiastes 12:13, he said, fear God, worship Him, keep His commands. This is God's purpose for all people. It's not in the chasing, it's not in all of that. You see from the life of Solomon, it all starts and ends with God. Even from all these people we talked about, it starts and ends with God. Any pursuit outside of God only leads to even more hunger. There's no satisfaction. Within God, you find all the satisfaction that your soul longs for. You are the one that knows where your heart aches. You are the one that perceives what it feels like, what you really need. And only God can satisfy that thing. In Him, we find meaning in the seemingly mundane things of life. In God, we find that meaning. And I want you to know, if you think about all these people we talked about, you will see parts of you in some of them. Do you see parts of you in that Samaritan woman, or in that rich ruler, or in the prodigal son, or in Solomon? They all had different needs and they wanted to satisfy it. They had different needs. There was a longing in their soul. The one that was looking for eternal security was there. The one that was looking for approval was there. The one that was looking for belonging, just to feel I belong somewhere, and eventually got seen by Jesus, was there. So there are lots of needs, and we'll find parts of ourselves in all of these things. None of them found peace outside of God. And the same for you too. The earlier you know this, make peace with yourself, the better. That's why in countries that are developed, people seemingly have all that they need. All that they need. You have light, you have your internet, you have water, you have good roads, you have everything that look like problems in developing countries. However, emptiness on the inside grows. Loneliness is growing. People being unnecessarily mean is growing. There is that dissatisfaction. You see people projecting their insecurities, projecting what is lacking inside of them, projecting it on the outside, if you're someone who reflects a lot and observes, then you see that there is that emptiness. Whether you're in developed country, whether you are highly educated, it doesn't matter your status, it doesn't matter. Inside of every one of us, there is that longing, and you will never find that peace. You will never find that satisfaction outside of God. So it's just what it is. Come back to Jesus and you find it. Go to Jesus, and I pray that you will find peace. I pray that you will find God. I pray that you would encounter Jesus and find that satisfaction in your soul. I hope that from everything that I've shared today, you've picked one or two things that can help you as you journey through life. Till I see you next time. Bye for now.